I'm pregnant, she announced in front of both families. I smiled and said, awesome. One tiny thing, I'm sterile. I'm 30M, she's 28F. We've been together 4 years, living in Indy in a little duplex by a Speedway and a Kroger. We had Sunday dinner at my mom's. Roasted chicken, green beans, cornbread. My sister was teasing my girlfriend Tessa about her baby fever Pinterest boards, and my mom was pulling out the ancient high chair from the basement just in case. It was loud, warm, stupidly normal. Tessa stood up, touched her stomach, and said, "We have news." She looked at me for a beat like she was daring me to stop her. "I'm pregnant." My mom screamed. My sister cried. I felt my face go numb while my ears rang so loud the room disappeared. I clapped. I don't even know why I clapped. Autopilot. Then I said it. Awesome. One tiny thing, I'm sterile. All the air got sucked out of the dining room. Forks froze midair. Tessa's mouth opened like a fish. My mom blinked twice like she was trying to unsee a car crash. Babe, remember? We talked about trying? You said the doctor said there was a small chance, like sometimes, she stammered. I shook my head. We didn't try. We talked about it. And the doctor didn't say small chance. He said 0. Azoospermia. You were there. My sister's hand covered her mouth. My mom put her napkin down slow like it was suddenly heavy. My stepdad stood up as if standing would make any of this normal. Tessa's eyes went glossy. You made an announcement, I said. I stood up and pushed in my chair like a gentleman at a very polite train wreck. I'm going to go. Don't, she said, grabbing my wrist. Please. I looked at my mom, at the cornbread, at the stupid high chair, and then I walked out into the Indiana humidity, the kind that makes your shirt stick to your back. We live off 71st, not fancy. You can smell Waffle House if the wind's right. I drove there and sat in the parking lot for an hour watching people stumble in for hash browns and coffee like everything was regular. My phone blew up. Mom, sis, Tessa, her mom. I didn't answer. I went home when it got dark, quieter, and Tessa was on the couch, eyes swollen. It's a miracle, she said. It's not. What if there was a mix-up at the lab when you got tested? She rubbed her belly like she was convincing herself as much as me. It happens. They tested me twice, I said. You know this. She swallowed. Okay, she whispered. Then I made a mistake. That word hung in the air like smoke. With who? I was surprisingly calm. Don't lie again. She pressed her lips together. It doesn't matter. It's not what you think. I think you cheated, I said. I think you got pregnant. I think you announced it to my family so I'd be trapped. She flinched. I did not, that's not fair. Who? I repeated. She stared at the carpet so long I thought she would pretend to faint. Dylan, she finally said. From work. From the hospital? She nodded. How many times? Silence. How many times, Tessa? 3, she whispered. It didn't mean anything. I laughed. It bubbled up and sounded ugly. 3 times is a choice. She started to cry again, the soft, wet kind that used to crack me open. Now it just made me tired. I was scared, she said. I wanted a baby. You know I've always wanted a baby. And when you got your diagnosis, you shut down on me. We didn't touch for a month. You wouldn't talk about donors. You wouldn't talk about adoption. I felt alone. I made a mistake. Who talked, I said. We were figuring it out. You didn't ask. You decided. I'm sorry. I nodded. Okay. It came out flat. I'm moving out. She went pale. What? No. This baby can still have you. We can still be a family. You're the man I love. No, I said, you're having a baby with Dylan from work. It's my baby, she said, suddenly defiant. And I want you. He doesn't matter. Then why is he the father? She had no answer for that. I packed 2 duffels, my toolbox, and my old Colts hoodie. I left the cheap IKEA couch we built together and the plants I pretended to care about. I texted my buddy Kyle, who lives down in Fountain Square above a bakery, and asked if his couch was free. Tessa sank to the floor in the hallway while I zipped my bag. Please, she said. We can fix it. I'll do anything. Therapy. I'll block Dylan. I'll tell HR. Just don't go. I stood in the doorway and looked at the life we built, the tiny, stupid ceramic turtle she bought at a yard sale, our framed map of places we said we'd go. I wanted to be the guy who stayed and fought for it. I wanted to not be the guy who got played for a simpleton in front of his own family. Put me on the list for the apartment, I said. I'll keep paying my half for a month. Then I'm done. This is your home, she said, voice rising. No, I said. It was. I slept on Kyle's couch under the smell of cinnamon rolls and fresh coffee. He tossed me a blanket and a beer and didn't ask any questions until I wanted him to. We watched the game. His dog, Moose, put his giant head on my knee like he knew. The next morning I called off work, told my boss something vague about family trouble, and drove to my mom's. She let me in before I knocked. I'm sorry about last night, I said. Don't be sorry, she said, pulling me in like I was 8. She put bacon and toast in front of me and sat across the table, hand on my wrist. Are you okay? No, I said, but I will be. She nodded like that's exactly what she expected me to say. Around lunch, my phone lit up with an unknown number. I stared at it, answered. Is this Tessa's boyfriend? A woman's voice said, shaky. Who's this? This is Erica. She swallowed. I'm Dylan's fiancé. I closed my eyes. Hi, Erica. I found your number in her Instagram DMs, she said. I shouldn't have looked, but her breath hitched. I'm so sorry. Did you know? I asked. No. God, no. I knew something was off. He's always on his phone after shifts. He said it was charting. She trailed off like she ran out of air. He told me last night. I made him. He said it's over. He said it was a mistake. I hope you left him, I said. I told him to get out, she whispered. He's sleeping at his brother's. He kept saying he loves me, like that matters. Listen, I'm not calling to make this worse. I don't even know why I'm calling. Maybe because I feel like I'm going crazy and you're the only other person who understands? I get it, I said. She sniffed. She's pregnant? Yes. Another little quiet collapse on the line. Okay. We talked for half an hour like old friends. We compared notes. The Thursday late shift that miraculously ended at 11:30 instead of 7. The girls' night that had just 2 girls, if you count him. The way they said it didn't mean anything with the same cadence, as if there's a manual. Do you want to blow it up? Erica asked. Like, tell their hospital? HR? I thought about it. I don't care about getting them fired, I said. I just want the truth. Me too, she said. I'm getting a paternity test when the baby's born. If you want updates, I don't even know if you do. I do, I said. Me too, she said. This sucks. After we hung up, I texted Tessa, I'm moving my stuff this weekend. Please be gone while I do it. She replied, please don't do this. I didn't reply. The apartment had our smell, detergent and coffee and her perfume. I packed like a thief, fast, like if I lingered on a mug or a dumb sweatshirt I'd crumble. Two of her work friends showed up halfway through, both nurses I knew by face from their cookouts, their faces stiff with pity. "We're just here for Tessa," one said. "She's not well." "She shouldn't have done this," the other said under her breath when her friend went to the bathroom. "I know," I said. They left with a Tupperware of lasagna and awkward eyes. I hauled boxes to my car. A neighbor nodded at me from his grill like he'd seen this scene 100 times and never thought he'd see it with us. I wiped my eyes with my forearm and kept moving. At Kyle's, I set up my stuff in his spare room. It faces an alley and a brick wall. It felt like a cell, but it was mine. That night I lay on the air mattress, stared at the ceiling, and listened to the bakery mixer hum downstairs. I pictured Tessa's hand on her stomach. I pictured a baby who half looked like her and not at all like me, and I felt something twist deep and ugly. Then I got angry and fell asleep. For the next few days, I went to work, came home, lifted at the cheap gym next to the old Kmart, ate rotisserie chicken from Kroger, and didn't cry in the shower. Well, not every day. Tessa texted constantly. At first, apologies, then bargaining. "We can figure it out. Donors, therapy. I'll go to church with your mom again if she wants. Please." Then anger. "Wow. You really gave up fast. Guess I know how you felt about us." Then I threw up this morning and wished you were there. Then nothing for a day. Then a picture of an ultrasound, blurry and alien. I stared at it for a long time and had no idea what I felt. She posted the ultrasound on Facebook with some cutesy caption about Miracle Baby and God's plan. I threw my phone on the bed and went for a run in 92 degrees until my lungs burned. My sister Jenna showed up with pizza and a bottle of bourbon. "Pick your poison," she said. "Both," I said. We ate cross-legged on the floor like we were kids and talked about everything but Tessa until the second drink when Jenna said, "None of this is on you, right?" "I know," I said. A week later, Erica texted, "He's trying to get back in." Flowers on the porch, long paragraphs, the greatest hits. I told him to drop dead. "How are you?" I said, "Eating Kroger sushi and not crying." She said, "Ha. Same but with Aldi grapes." He said he'll sign over rights if it's his. I stared at that and heard a bell ding in my head. Rights, legal, paternity. I Googled for 3 hours and then called a lawyer the next morning from the sidewalk outside my office under a sad city tree. The consult was short. "If you're not married and you didn't sign anything and you're not on the birth certificate, you're not the legal father," he said. "Do not sign anything. Do not agree to anything. Keep everything in writing." "Got it," I said. "Thank you." You'd be surprised how many guys don't call until after they've signed the paper at the hospital, he said. And then you're in it. I put my phone in my pocket and sat on a bench and watched a guy on a scooter almost take out a pigeon. I texted Tessa, "Don't put me on the birth certificate." She replied immediately, "Why are you being cruel?" "It's our baby." I typed, "It's not." I deleted it. I typed, "Don't." She sent me a photo of a bib. On a Thursday, I went to Waffle House after a late meeting because I didn't feel like eating alone at home. I sat at the counter, ordered hash browns, scattered, smothered, covered, and watched the cook flip everything with that uncanny Waffle House wrist. That's when Dylan walked in. He was exactly what you'd expect: tall, hospital scrubs, tired, smug face. He saw me and stopped like he hit a wall. For a second, I thought he would walk out. He walked over. "Hey, you mind if I—" "Don't sit," I said. He didn't. He hovered like a mosquito. "I'm sorry," he said. I told Erica everything. I'm doing the right thing. I'm getting tested when the baby's here. I'm going to pay child support. I'm... "Okay," I said again. The cook slid my plate in front of me like she'd been waiting for a cue. The hash browns steamed. "Do you want a sticker for doing the right thing after doing the worst thing?" He winced. I know nothing I say matters to you. But he exhaled through his nose. If you ever loved her, don't blast her on Facebook. Don't ruin her career. I don't care about her career, I said. I care about the truth. I'm the father, he said too loud. The couple in the next booth looked up. He lowered his voice. I am. We got reckless. I hate myself for it. I'm not proud. I love Erica. You love Erica so much you made a person with my girlfriend, I said. He rubbed his eyes. We were drinking after a bad code. It was stupid. 3 times stupid, I said. He stared at the griddle like it had answers. I'm going to fix it. I genuinely don't care what you do, I said. Don't talk to me again. He nodded like a kid being sent to the principal. He left without ordering. The cook, a woman with forearms of a Greek statue, said, You want me to spit in his if he comes back? I laughed for the first time in a week. Yes, ma'am. I told Kyle about Waffle House Dylan. We made jokes that were mean and kept me from crying. He switched out my air mattress for a real mattress he found on Facebook Marketplace. He dragged it up the stairs at 10 p.m. while the baker downstairs cursed in Spanish and laughed at us. Tessa's mom started messaging me, long ones full of Bible verses and God's timing and stand by your woman, and I sent one sentence back, please stop. She didn't. I blocked her. 2 weeks later, Tessa showed up at Kyle's with a bag of muffins from the bakery downstairs like she knew my weakness. She looked pale, hair in a bun, wearing my sweatshirt, the one I almost kept but couldn't. She knocked like she didn't want to scare a deer. I know you blocked my mom, she said, forcing a laugh. Good call. What do you want? To talk, she said, eyes flicking to Kyle's door closed down the hall. Make it fast. She handed me the bag like an offering. Blueberry, she said, like that word had magic. I'm sorry. I have said it 100 times and it never sounds like enough. But I am. I made a horrible mistake. I panicked. I felt like you left even when you were still here. That's not an excuse. It's just what happened. I stared at the muffins. Is this the part where you asked me to raise Dylan's kid? No, she said, so fast it was almost believable. This is the part where I tell you I want to make it right with you. I will do whatever it takes. I'll quit. I'll move. We can go to therapy. We can talk to our pastor. We don't have a pastor, I said. We can get one, she said, smiling because she thought we were joking again. I didn't smile. She swallowed it. I miss you, she whispered. I felt a flash of the old, the way she used to tuck her feet under my leg on the couch, the way we danced like idiots in the kitchen to 90s songs we were too young to remember, the way she cried when my grandpa died because she missed hers too. It all flickered and hurt. I'm not coming back, I said. Her face crumpled. I love you. I loved you, I said. She set the bag on the floor like it weighed 50 pounds. Please at least be at the birth, she said. Even if you hate me. Please. I'm scared. I'm not going to the hospital, I said. I'm not the dad. She nodded like she had rehearsed being brave. Okay, she said. Okay. She left. I threw the muffins away and then fished them out 5 minutes later because I didn't deserve to be righteous and hungry. Time moved. Indy did its Indy thing, humid then nice then humid again. I went back to Eagle Creek on weekends like when I was in college, sat on a bench with a coffee, watched people in kayaks live their normal lives. I saw couples with strollers and felt a hit of grief, then felt stupid for grieving something I never had. I got a therapist whose office had 2 plants and a wall of books I suspected she hadn't read. She let me rage and cry and then said, it makes sense you're angry, and it did, and also it didn't help, but At least it lives somewhere besides my lungs. Erica and I texted sometimes. Not flirty, not weird. Check-ins. She sent me a picture of her dog in a Halloween costume in August because she's one of those people. I sent her a picture of Moose in sunglasses. We became this odd little support group with 2 members and a lot of sarcasm. Tessa's belly got bigger on Instagram. She posted bump pics with captions about cravings and her angel. She never tagged me, never used my name, just we like we was some abstract cloud. People commented hearts and so happy for you with no idea. Sometimes a high school friend would DM me, dude, congrats, and I'd stare at the message and then put my phone face down. One night in late October, she called me at 1 a.m. I almost didn't answer. Something in my ribs made me. I'm bleeding, she said, voice tight. Call your doctor, I said, standing up so fast I smacked my hip on the table. I did. I'm on my way, she said. She breathed. I'm scared. Okay, I said, already putting on jeans with my phone between shoulder and ear. Do you have someone with you? My mom. Okay, I said again. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. They kept her for observation. It was nothing, they said. It happens. She was fine. I didn't go. She made it to 39 weeks. Erica texted me from the hospital parking lot. She's here. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. I'm not there. I'm at home making spaghetti I won't eat. Dylan is there like a hero. I'm going to throw up. I stared at the text. I typed, I'm sorry. Then I put my phone on my chest and looked at the ceiling and counted the tiny holes in the cheap tile until the number didn't make sense. 2 days later, Erica sent another text, paternity test in progress. He signed an acknowledgement of paternity at the hospital, not that anyone asked me. She used a frowny face that somehow made me feel seen. Tessa sent me a picture at 3 a.m. The baby's eyes were closed, mouth a perfect bow, wearing a hat with tiny, bare ears. For a second, I looked for myself in her nose, which is stupid because biology. I whispered, hi, to no one. She texted, she's perfect. I typed, she is. Then I put my phone face down and said it out loud, she is not my baby. It was probably the first time I believed it. 2 weeks later, paternity test results. Erica texted a photo of a folded paper on a table, the words cannot be excluded as the biological father underlined. Then, it's him. I sat with that for a long time. Then I screenshotted it and, after a deep breath I felt in my toes, sent it to my mom and my sister. My mom replied, I'm sorry, baby. I love you. My sister replied with 38 swear words and a skull emoji. I sent it to Tessa. She didn't reply for an hour. Then, okay. Then, I'm sorry. Then, I hate me enough for both of us. Dylan texted me from a number I didn't have saved. I'll take care of her, meaning the baby. I'm out of your life. You won't hear from me again. I put his contact name as Dylan from work like a meme and archived the text. I thought that would be the end. It wasn't. A month later, Erica texted me a picture of Dylan's car at Tessa's apartment overnight, then another night, then another, then no car, then a picture of a cardboard box on a porch with his name on it, then he's out. She said she wants to just be a mom. He's devastated. I am eating popcorn. I didn't clap. I didn't gloat. Okay, I gloated a little, quietly, in my kitchen. With Moose, who I had sort of adopted because Kyle works weird hours and Moose likes me best now because I buy him expensive treats. The house smelled like coffee and cinnamon and new paint because we finally painted over the old scuffs. It smelled like my life. Then, of course, Tessa texted. Can we talk? I stared at it for a full day and then said, about what? About us? She replied. We met at a park we used to go to when we first dated, the one with the weird metal sculpture that looks like a giant paperclip. She wore a coat that swallowed her. The air had that cold that gets into your teeth. She looked older. I probably did too. The baby was with her mom. I'm in therapy, she said without preamble. Real therapy, not the YouTube kind. I have a woman who doesn't smile when I say dumb things. It's good. Good, I said. We sat. Ducks floated by, completely uninterested in our drama. I want to say I understand why I did what I did, so I can never do it again, she said, voice even. I grieved wrong. I punished you for something that wasn't your fault. I lied because I was scared. I made a family on the back of your big heart because I thought you could carry it. That's disgusting. I hate it. I think about it at 3 a.m. when she cries, and I wonder if I deserve to be her mom. You do, I said. It surprised me to hear it out loud. You're a good mom. You were always going to be. She blinked hard. Thank you. I can't be with you, I said. Then if you were perfect now, I'm not the guy who can forget that dinner table. I know, she whispered. I didn't come to ask you to come back. You didn't? I said, skeptical. I wanted to, she admitted, small smile. I rehearsed speeches. But I think I knew on the way here it would be selfish. I came to tell you I'm sorry. Again, the real kind, not the fix-it kind. And if you hate me forever, I get it. I don't hate you, I said. I just don't know you anymore. She nodded. Fair. We hugged like people who used to know each other's bones. It didn't light me up. It didn't break me. It was just a soft thing in cold air. After that, it got boring. Which is to say, it got better. I went to work, came home, made dinner that wasn't just chicken. I started running in the mornings by the canal before the city woke up and regretted it for the first mile and was glad for it on the third. I bought houseplants and kept them alive. I got good at crosswords. I played pickup soccer on Sundays and was bad at it and loved it. Tiny life, ordinary life. One day in March, my sister dropped off her toddler for 2 hours so she could go get her nails done for the first time in 6 months. I put a blanket on the floor and handed the kid a whisk and a plastic bowl, and he looked at it like I'd given him the moon. He laughed at Moose. Moose looked at me for instructions like, is this allowed? There was a moment where something in my chest unclenched. It didn't ache anymore. It just felt like space. Small note, I had a pork tenderloin sandwich the size of my head at a place off Keystone, and it rocked. Updates. Update 1 week after the announcement, I moved out. Tessa admits Dylan is the father. I'm on Kyle's couch, which has now become Kyle's spare room. My mom is both warm and deadly. If she sees Dylan in the street, I do fear for him. Erica, Dylan's fiancée, reached out to me. I met Dylan at Waffle House by accident, and he did the whole I'm a man taking responsibility thing, and I said, do you want a sticker? The cook offered to spit in his hash browns. I didn't take her up on it. I got a lawyer consult. TLDR, don't sign anything. Don't be on the birth certificate. Save everything. That is the plan. Update 2, 3 weeks later, Tessa is love bombing hard, muffins, tears, promises to quit. I said no. I'm in therapy, which is mostly me saying I'm fine while not being fine, and a very patient woman saying you're not fine. Erica is going scorched earth on Dylan, which is deserved. They're done. She's a gem. We're friendship texting like two veterans of a dumb war. My sister keeps feeding me pizza. I'm sleeping kind of. A little. Update 3, month 4. Tessa had a scare. She bled and called me. I told her to go to the hospital. I did not go. I stood on a porch and felt both useless and relieved. She's okay. I cried in the shower anyway. The baby is due in November. I'm not prepared for the flood of "Are you excited?" texts from people who don't know any better. I now run in the mornings and hate I love it. Kyle and I bought a real couch off Facebook that doesn't deflate. Update 4, birth. She had the baby, girl, 7 pounds 3 ounces, tiny, perfect. I looked at the photo and felt two things at once: love for a creature I'll never meet, and a clean line that said, "Not mine." Paternity test says Dylan is the father. He signed. Erica sent me the paper like it was a trophy we won in a game we never wanted to play. I told my mom and sister. We did not post any of this on Facebook. Dylan texted me a goodbye like we were breaking up. I archived it. Tessa texted me a picture at 3 a.m. I said she's perfect. Then I turned my phone face down and I slept. Update 5, 2 months postpartum. Dylan moved in and then out. Tessa says she wants to just be a mom. I met Tessa at the park. She apologized the way people do when they mean it, which is different from the way people do when they want something. I told her I'm not coming back. We hugged. It didn't set me on fire. It felt like a closing door. I'm okay. I think. I still get hit sometimes by a song, by a baby in a grocery cart, but it's less. It's human, not fatal. Update 6. 6 months later, I moved into a one-bedroom with actual light. Moose splits time, but mostly sleeps on my couch like he pays rent. I went to Eagle Creek and didn't think about Tessa for an hour, then 2, then a whole day. My sister's kid calls me Unk and thinks I'm a jungle gym. I'm still in therapy. I am weirdly into plants now. My mom keeps trying to set me up with Carol's niece who works at the bank and has a nice smile. I'm not there yet. Maybe soon. I got a promotion. It doesn't fix anything, but it feels like forward. Update 7. A year later, people asked for an update, which is wild because when this happened, I thought I'd never think about it again without feeling like I got kicked. Here's the honest version. I hardly think about it. When I do, it's a dull bruise, not an open wound. I saw Tessa at a Target once. The baby, toddler now, was in the cart in a tiny puffer jacket, cheeks red, hair in a little tuft. Tessa saw me, lifted a hand, and that was it. We didn't approach. It felt right. Later she texted me, "She's good. I'm sorry again." I texted back, "I know. I hope you're good too." She said, "Working on it." That's enough. I did the cliche thing and tried dating. The first date was unbearable and we both knew it by the appetizers and we were kind about it. The second was better. The third turned into a Sunday morning Waffle House breakfast that felt different. Her name is Liv. She laughs with her whole face and has a scar on her chin from falling off a skateboard at 12, and she wasn't weird about Moose jumping on her lap. I told her everything on date 2 because I didn't want to build anything on lies. She said that must have sucked, and then also Kroger sushi, bold choice, and then want to split fries. It's light. I'm careful. I'm not repeating history. As for the internet debate that always pops up, you should have stayed for the baby. You should have forgiven. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't have the energy to litigate it. I did what let me look at myself in the mirror. I left. It hurt. It healed. That's it. Final tiny local sentence. Went to the state fair, ate a corn dog the size of my arm, watched a pig race, didn't think about any of this for a whole afternoon. It felt like a new life. Thanks to the strangers who talked me out of signing anything, into therapy and into cooking something besides chicken. If you're sitting in a Waffle House parking lot with your life in pieces, I promise there is a day on the other side where it's not the first thing you think about. BH. Ash Brown's help. The rest takes time.